when you cease being useful, the situation then becomes tenuous. I need to be useful for you, and one way or another, you are going to help me. Ah!
Daniel, don't! Daniel! Oh, hello again, dear. I'm sorry. Keeping your head down, walking at a pace. I've been there. I understand. Believe me.
I know you. I've seen you before.
Oh, don't worry. You're not bothering me none.
That was you last night in
Shortage Park, dear.
Have you been following me?
You have the look of someone hoping not to be seen. You just need some practice, is all.
I've never not had any problem being seen.
Oh, sure. But it's different when people are actually looking for you, yes? You've fallen into a bit of a pattern, I'm afraid. It would be good if you broke it up a bit. Save your energy for when you really need to run.
Who are you?
I'm Mrs. Wiggins here.
You left that food on purpose.
You've done all right so far. I'm impressed, I am. But it can't last.
What do you mean?
That fellow you had a run-in with, down by the docks, he gave the police a description of you. And now they know of at least one place where you've been. Any number of people who have passed you on the street can say when and where they saw you. They'll sort out your pattern, and then you're caught, Priya.
How do you know this? How do you know my name?
Sherlock Holmes, dear.
Who is that?
She's the one who told us to keep an eye out for you. There's a few of us here to help if you wanted.
A few of what?
Oh, it's just our little knitting circle. But you should know the police have your name, and there's a warrant out for your arrest.
How?
I don't know, love. All I know is you need help, and that's what we do.
I don't understand.
Food, rest, answers, and in that order. Your questions will be answered. But if you need help, now is the time. Will you come? Good, come along. It's not hard.
Inspector, how many times have we done this? Stood at the place of death and violence and searched for hidden meaning beneath the wreckage.
You want me to believe that you've lost count?
You've risked an awful lot allowing the likes of Watson and me to come in and out of your crime scene investigations.
The rewards have far outweighed the risks. We've done a lot of good, the three of us.
I believe we have. If I haven't told you, I'm very grateful for everything you've done for us. For me. I'm sorry if I haven't said it as often as I should.
I'm the one who's grateful, really. What makes you bring this up now?
It was something
We
Watson
should
said.
probably get to work, shouldn't we?
Right. Inspector, what can you tell us?
Welcome to the Winstead Hotel. Our victim, one Frederick Mowbray, political activist and journalist, most recently published a series of articles supporting repeal of the Contagious Diseases Act. I haven't read them, but I'm told that he managed to ruffle more than a few feathers.
So you have quite a list of suspects then?
A number of people might have liked to see him dead, yes. But only one with long dark hair and a penchant for stabbing her victims in the chest with a letter opener.
Long dark hair.
Found in his hand, just like a Daniel Bird. Even more at this time. Almost like it was part of the fun.
And he was stabbed through the solar plexus, the same as Bert.
Close enough. Got him right in the heart. Made a real mess on the bed. Go take a look if you'd like.
On the bed.
Just remember what I've said about active crime scenes.
Well, it doesn't seem terribly active at the moment.
What have you found?
Did any of your officers enter through the garden when they came in here?
No, they came in through the front from Kennington Lane.
Well, this dirt here is from one of your men. Same as this dirt over here. Different officer, same dirt.
I can't even see what you're... Oh,
These, however, these came from someone else. Someone with a smaller foot. Someone that came in through that window. Watson,
Check the linens, I'm on it.
Yes.
so she came in through the window. What are you getting at?
Daniel Burke was expecting company. He knew who killed him. Frederick Mowbray, on the other hand.
There is some more mud in there, and the linens are all mussed.
Frederick Mowbray was not expecting a visit. His killer broke in through that window and hid in the linen closet.
There are definitely not any signs of a struggle. She must have hidden in the closet and waited till he was asleep.
She?
That is a woman's shoe print.
So you're willing to concede that a woman killed Frederick Mowbray, just not the same one who killed Daniel Burke? Creasing knew Burke from the connection between their families. She knew Mowbray through her work at Josephine Butler.
What's the motive?
I planned to ask her just that. Our source suggested that Creasing was in a relationship with Mowbray. I'd probably start there.
Priya was nowhere near the Winstead Hotel last night.
So you do know where she is?
No, not exactly at the moment, but the knitting circle spotted her miles from here.
Sherlock, you know I have absolute faith in you, but I don't see any other way through this. There's simply too much evidence.
Circumstantial.
Not all of it. Not to mention the pressure that Scotland Yard is under to close the Burke investigation. Why are you protecting Priya Singh?
Why aren't you? You disappoint me, Inspector. Would you be so certain of your conclusions if it were Dr. Watson connected to the victims, or myself?
I'd like to think so, yes.
Yes. You probably would.
Look, you know how this works. Until we can prove that Priya Singh didn't commit these crimes, and more importantly, until we can figure out who really did, I am bound by law to execute this warrant with calls for her arrest. I can't be seen holding up the investigation. That would land me in prison right next to her. I'd give you any more time if I had any left to give. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I completely understand. Come along, Watson. Let's lead him to his case. Good luck solving it, Inspector.
You too, Miss Holmes. You had to tell her?
Yes.
Fair enough. Right then. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't be in here. Police business.
Inspector Lestrade, I believe it's about time we made each other's acquaintance.
Appearing out of nowhere. Sinister introduction. I'm going to go on a limb and deduce that you are Sherlock's brother. You just missed her.
As was my intention. You are the murders of Daniel Burke and Frederick Mowbray. You are heading those investigations?
Frederick Mowbray hasn't been made public yet. How did you even know to come here?
You are aware that my sister's conducting a private investigation on behalf of your suspect in those cases.
I'm aware, yes.
You two have had a working relationship for some time. How does it feel to be at cross purposes with her now?
I trust Sherlock to do the right thing in the end. She bends the law as she sees fit, but she never break it.
I wish I shared your confidence. As Sherlock's brother, it is my duty to keep an eye on her, look over her shoulder, as it were. I am very concerned about certain individuals she's recently come in contact with.
Oh?
Rabble-rousers, such as Josephine Butler, for one, but there are others that have given me pause.
What's this?
Information.
I don't want to be part of your family's squabbles, Mr. Holmes.
Inspector, contrary to what she's led you to believe, I am concerned for her well-being.
Why not just give this to Sherlock? You know, she's far smarter than I am.
She trusts you. She doesn't trust me.
From what I gather, you haven't given her much reason to.
She will understand in the end.
Will she? Nope.
feel was embarrassed.
Oh, Sherlock, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. It's not what's occupying my thoughts at the moment.
Well, then what is?
Something is coming.
What?
I'm not sure. You know,
I don't know. Oh,
Mr. Worthington?
Hello, Miss Holmes, Dr. Watson. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Well, yes, we are on some rather urgent business, and
what was that for?
I won't take up too much of your time. I just wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed our conversation the other day, and how I hope we can talk more in the future. Oh, and I brought you this.
London plane seedlings.
Yes, as you are probably aware, germination for the London plane tree is at an all-time low, less than 1%. I gathered these seeds last autumn and soaked them for a day and mixed in a bit of dry
Why, that is just so thoughtful of you, wasn't it, Sherlock? I'll just bring these upstairs.
But I
shall
thought we were going
I'll
to...
be right. Just a minute. Nice to see you again, Mr. Worthington.
They need a great deal of light.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. I hope that after your investigation is concluded, that we might be able to find time to replant them. Together.
The London plane tree is a hardy breed. It will take root almost anywhere.
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry. You are clearly on urgent business.
No, it's fine. I mean, yes, we are...
Have you heard from Miss Singh yet? I should have asked that first.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that just yet.
Of course not. How silly of me.
It's all right. You're just concerned.
Yes, quite. Well, I'll let you get back to it.
Mr. Worthington, if my manner appears brusque, or perhaps not what you expected or hoped for, it's not that I am ungrateful for the very thoughtful gift. It's just that I am unaccustomed to such gestures, and I'm not quite sure of the appropriate response.
I see.
My work means everything to me. It's important that you understand that.
All right.
But when the investigation is through, perhaps we could discuss how best to distribute the seeds.
Well, then I shall hope for a swift conclusion to your investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Worthington.
Best of luck, ladies.
Oh, that was very thoughtful of him, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sherlock, are you all right?
No.
What is it?
I don't know. I can't see it yet. There's this machine, this great grinding machine, consuming everything in its path. And men like Lestrade, and perhaps even Mr. Worthington, are cogs in this machine. Good men, well-meaning perhaps, but part of it nonetheless. Then there are others, like my brother, and maybe the professor too, who believe that they control this machine. But they don't control it. They're just fueling its fires. Daniel Burke and Frederick Mowbray have already been caught up by it, and now it has its sights set on Priya, following a thread.
But what thread?
That's what I can't see. Priya knew both of the victims, but that's not why they died. There has to be another connection between these two men.
Well, Daniel Burke worked for the professor. Do you think perhaps Frederick Mowbray was caught up as well?
No, that's not it.
Then, what about Mrs. Butler? One of her causes, perhaps?
How?
The Contagious Diseases Act, perhaps?
The Contagious Diseases Act. Of course!
But why would Daniel Burke be interested in that?
No, not Burke.
The professor.
Yes, him too.
Well,
Who else? We have her, Watson. Priya is safe.
shall we go?
Yes. I don't know what I do without you sometimes.
I don't know what you'd do without me either. I am sorry that I embarrassed you earlier.
Don't be. I found the experience rather exhilarating. Now, we must inform Mrs. Butler. I'm sure she'll want to see Priya for herself.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Olive, I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. Is one of you Miss Holmes?
I am.
I understand I have you to thank.
Not yet, I'm afraid. We can't hide you here forever.
Oh, Mrs. Butler, I didn't mean for any of this to come back on you.
Nothing of the kind has happened. We just want to make sure that you're safe. It's a good thing you took off when you did, Miss. Otherwise, you might be arrested by now.
You must be Dr. Watson then?
I am. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Miss Day.
Miss Wiggins has been filling me in on what you do for people. It's extraordinary.
Well, we don't offer our services to just anyone, but yours is a particularly interesting case, one that will require a great deal to extract you from it. So if you would please give me your version of events, and leave no detail out, no matter how trivial you may think it.
Yes, of course. Where should I begin?
Why did you go to see Daniel Burke?
He sent me a note. I still have it if you need to see it. He said that he had spotted me at one of our recent rallies, and I hadn't seen him in years before I left London. I guess he wanted to see me for old time's sake, he said.
You grew up in the Burke household. I understand your parents were in service to Sir Edmund Burke.
If you could call it that. My father was an architect when the rebellion broke out. He was a peaceful man and wanted no part in fighting. They slaughtered thousands of civilians, but when the British finally took control, he thought that he might put his skills to use to help rebuild, but such roles were not available to Indians. And so my mother and father were forced to become servants instead, and that's how they became part of the Burke household.
Given such a history, why follow Sir Edmund Burke back to London?
There was no work for them if they had stayed. They were trying to start a family. So they moved back to England, hoping for a better life for me, and Sir Edmund Burke just put them on display like they were part of a menagerie.
And yet, Daniel Burke wanted to see you for old time's sake?
Daniel and I grew up in the same house together, but we have different memories of that time together. He was, well, not a very nice man, and I was always sort of frightened of him.
Then why take him up on his invitation?
My mother and father had made an arrangement with Sir Edmund Burke to hold a portion of their wages until I became of age. But they died when I was 15 in a cholera outbreak. So Sir Edmund Burke decided he was no longer obligated to honor their agreement. And it wasn't that much money, but it was mine. So I hoped, maybe naively, and I went to see Daniel, that maybe he had grown into a sort of different man than his father.
What was his reason for asking you to come and see him?
He wanted to know about Mrs. Butler and the L&A. He said the man that he had worked for needed information about us.
Did he say anything else about this man he worked for?
No, I don't think so. We argued. He said some awful things. And when I tried to leave,
It's all right. We know what happened next.
I just keep seeing it over and over again. I'm right back in that room with them all over again.
You've been through something awful, Priya. But you just have to remember that you are safe now. You are surrounded by friends, and nobody blames you. Can I ask you a question? Where did you learn your medical training?
At the Nightingale School, King's College, when my parents died, I wanted to learn everything I could about medicine. I even considered following your path, Dr. Watson. But doctors just try to take care of the problem while nurses take care of the person, and that's what I wanted to do.
That's a very fair assessment.
After attempting to apply your skills, what happened then?
I ran. I must have. The next thing I remember is finding Olive, and then she went and found Mrs. Butler.
Surely the courts would be sympathetic to a story such as this.
That's the whole problem. When you first learned about what happened to Daniel, they must have given you a description of me. What did they say?
They described you as a foreign woman.
Exactly. Nobody sees me as an ordinary English woman. But I'm as English as any of you, but every time I show my face, I have to prove it all over again.
You're right, of course, but perhaps it makes you more English than all of us.
I know you mean that as a compliment, Mrs. Butler, but I don't think that it is.
What do we do now?
We must build our case. We have allies. Inspector Lestrade is handling the investigation from Scotland Yard side. The real challenge lies in thwarting the influence that Daniel Burke's family has already begun to exert on the case. I'm afraid the press will be plastering your name and likeness all over the city before long.
You leave that to me. One does not rise to a position such as mine without incurring a few favors along the way. I can handle the press. Priya's name will stay out in the papers, at least for a few more days.
Thank you, Mrs. Butler. That will be very helpful. Now, unfortunately, Miss Singh, I have a bit more distressing news.
What is it?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Frederick Mowbray was murdered last night.
Frederick Mowbray? The journalist? My God, that's awful.
The journalist, yes. Evidence links his death to that of Daniel Burke's, and the police believe that you are responsible.
But that's preposterous. Priya didn't even know the man.
Is that true?
We had some correspondence. I'd never met him in person. We were hoping that he would ask the LNA to help him with his next election.
You've never met Frederick Mowbray?
No, he resides in Manchester. Why would the police think I have anything to do with it?
One step at a time. There's something wrong here. You've never met Frederick Mowbray. What about you, Mrs. Butler?
We've had some correspondence, and I knew him by his work and reputation.
Miss Singh, this can't be right. We were made to understand that you and Mr. Mowbray were involved in a romantic entanglement.
What? Who told you such a thing?
Adam Worthington.
Who is Adam Worthington?
Well, Miss McGann's tutor, you know. Where's Miss McGann?
Perhaps Priya's story made her upset.
Watson, I need
I'm on
you.
it.
You've never heard the name Adam Worthington?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's happening?
Ladies, I may need to ask you to wait here. It may not be safe for you to venture out if you want.
Why don't you just...
Mrs. Wiggins says she went out the front door in a hurry and there is no sign of her on the street.
Ladies, I will explain everything as soon as I understand it myself. You must wait here. The knitting circle will keep an eye on you until we return. Ready? Ready.
Who is Adam Worthington?
Pardon me, you wouldn't happen to be Inspector Jeffrey Lestrade, would you?
Mr. Worthington, I presume?
Yes, I received your rather cryptic message. Of course, I'm happy to assist Scotland Yard in any way.
Yes, I do apologize for the cloak and dagger nature of my note, but it was necessary to lure you from your lodgings,
Lure me? To what purpose?
so that my officers might have ample time to make a thorough search.
See? May I ask why?
You are Adam Worthington, who taught literature at the preparatory in Hampshire?
Teach, currently.
Taught, I say. Adam Worthington taught literature in Hampshire. He is now a 78-year-old man living out his retirement in the south of Wales. Are you a 78-year-old man living in the south of Wales, sir?
Well, all credit to Mycroft Holmes and his cleverness in unmasking me. But this is one of my more hastily assembled constructions. I didn't expect to use it very long.
You admit you're not Adam Worthington.
I congratulate you on your diligence, Inspector.
You are under arrest, sir.
Yes. Yes, that normally would be the case, if one did not allow one's personal feelings to cloud one's judgment.
What is that supposed to mean?
I am simply observing that were you not so eager to prove your worth to Sherlock Holmes, you might have taken greater precautions.
I need no precautions for the likes of you.
As we are already aware, you are no Sherlock Holmes. She would not have been so careless as to try and orchestrate an opportunity to gloat over a bested rival. I mean, is this how you imagined it?
She would have caught on to you eventually.
We are not talking about her. We are talking about you, Inspector, and your abject failure to live up to the faith that she placed in you. Tell me, is such a show of manly bravado standard procedure at Scotland Yard?
Just who the hell do you think you are?
Miss Holmes will be so disappointed. You knew you should have given that dossier to the one person who can interpret it correctly. Instead, your first act was to organize this display. Mycroft Holmes should have known better, but he does have problems factoring in emotional connections into his calculations.
Who are you?
Robert James Moriarty, at your service, sir.
Who?
Professor Moriarty.
Professor? Professor?
Is this what it's like, Watson?
Is this what what's like?
Was it like this with your brother, for example?
When my brother came back from Afghanistan, he didn't have a mark on him. But in many ways, he never came back at all. There are things that he carried with him until the day he put a bullet in his own head.
Was it like this for you, then?
Somewhat. But no. I was so angry at Henry. Still am sometimes. But I'm not angry with Jeffrey. There are others whom I wish to hold to account.
I believe I know where the blame lies.
Sure.
I failed. The devil stood right in front of me, and I failed to see him.
You saw what he wanted you to see. He was smart enough to know what you would look for, and he made sure that you found it.
I saw what I wanted to see. Can I bring tea for anyone?
None for me, Mrs. Hudson. Thank you.
Miss Sherlock? It was a lovely service, I thought. He was a very nice man. You know, it's times like this I think of my son George.
I've seen his picture on your mantle. He was so handsome. He looked very smart in that uniform.
Oh, you would have liked him. He was going to be a doctor too, you know. But then he had a higher calling. He was with the 3rd Bombay Light Cavalry when they won the Battle of Kushan. I heard they faced 500 enemy soldiers and only 20 of them escaped. My George was in the first line. They shot him, but he stayed on his horse, and that was how he died.
Oh, you've never told us that.
It's not an easy thing to talk about. He died brave, like an Englishman should. I couldn't be more proud. It was just the same with the inspector. He was doing his duty. You couldn't ask for better.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
Forgive the intrusion, ladies. I offer my condolences and...
Don't, Mycroft.
Very well. Have you had a chance to examine the crime scene?
The bullet came from northwest of the bridge at a high angle. There's a warehouse there along the river which would provide enough cover. The shooter made his blind on the highest floor in a vacant office with a window facing the bridge. Do you have any news? What of Olive McGann and Adam Worthington?
I'm afraid they both disappeared. A search of Worthington's office gave no clue as to his true identity.
But we know who he was, don't we?
We can hypothesize,
We were there with him. Sherlock spent time with him.
and never suspected a thing. In any case, I've come here to tell you that your part in the investigation of the professor has come to an end.
Why?
The risks are too great. We have plenty of other loose ends to tie up.
We can help with those loose ends.
No. We know what the professor looks like. It won't be long before we uncover his true identity. Go back to what you were doing, but leave this to me.
Sherlock, aren't you going to say anything? You're right, Mycroft. Our part in this investigation is over. Sherlock. But I do have one request. Priya Singh. She killed Daniel Burke in self-defense, and she is being framed for the murder of Frederick Mowbray. I would appreciate it if you would use your connections to clear her of these charges. Please, Mycroft. I know how little it would require of you.
Very well. Give me 24 hours, then you can tell Miss Singh she is free to emerge from that flat you've been keeping her in near Whitechapel.
Thank you, Mycroft.
Ladies, and once again, my condolences.
So that's it then? I don't know. What happened to, if we don't help, who will? I don't know, Watson. Right. I'm going to go see Mrs. Butler and Miss Singh. Somebody could use some good news today. Take care of her, Mrs. Hudson. Of course, dear.
Can I get you anything, Miss Sherlock?
No. No, thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
All right, then I'll go put the tea on, just in case.
I think I'll go for a walk. Hello, Miss McGann.
You found me.
You knew that I would. May I?
Yourself would probably have trouble with the emotional connections. But why dwell upon the past? Now is the time to focus on the future.
The future. Is that what this is all about?
Of course. Take Josephine Butler, for instance. Extraordinary woman. I admire her acts to repeal the Contagious Diseases Act. I have ensured that she will not succeed for another 4 years.
If you admire her work, then why fight against it?
I'm not fighting it. I'm guiding it. It is a simple equation, or rather an extraordinarily complex one. Frederick Mowbray was a variable that led to an unfavorable conclusion. So I removed the variable. England was not ready for someone the likes of Frederick Mowbray. They will be ready for whoever replaces him.
In 4 years' time.
It's all about the future. Which leads me as to why I so long to meet you, Miss Holmes.
Well, you could have just come to Baker Street.
Anyone can do that.
Please, Professor, would you have me believe this was all some sort of romantic gesture?
What an astonishing waste of resources that would be.
So Priya Singh, Daniel Burke, just variables in the equation.
Daniel Burke was a useful but volatile tool. When it became clear that you traced certain transactions back to him, his usefulness came at an end. I suppose that little comedy that played out with Miss Singh and himself was a sad attempt to remain in my good graces.
So Daniel Burke's days were numbered either way. You used Priya to remove Burke, and then made her a patsy for your play against Frederick Mowbray. It's rather elegant, I must say. Tell me, do you really have an interest in botany, or was that just to give Adam Worthington something in common with me?
I have a passion for it. It was the small seed of truth for which the fabrication known as Adam Worthington was grown.
But why take the risk? Even behind your hastily assembled identity as a charming but harmless tutor, why put yourself at play?
My dear Sherlock, you don't wear a bustle, nor does your manner of dress expect anything but practical purposes. The material is good quality, expensive, but unadorned. Your shoes have taken you from one end of the city to the other and have been resold twice for their efforts. The style is clearly meant for, now what did you call it? Urban exploration. Yet here and there we find grudging nods to modern fashion. You are not unaware of society, yet you find yourself set apart from it. This is merely by your own design, but it's mostly your gifts that separate you. And it is from this that I deduce you are lonely.
Lonely.
I know what it's like. I know how much you must have longed to meet a companion who can see the world as you see it. I know because I felt it myself. I felt it my entire life.
More parts of the equation?
Not yet. Everything I have achieved has been the result of data analyzed through deterministic mathematical models. There is nothing so beautiful, so elegant, so sublime than numerical stability. And those models all worked fine. Until 4 years ago, when I noticed that my algorithms were becoming unstable due to the introduction of a singularity.
That must have been very frustrating.
You have no idea. Now that I have had the opportunity to observe this singularity, I realize it is too extraordinary an object to remove from the equation. If I can only incorporate it instead, that will make my equation that much more extraordinary.
I'm uncertain about this term singularity. What if there's more than one?
How do you mean?
Well, Olive McGann, for instance. You manipulated a fragile and distraught woman.
It was an equitable exchange. I gave her what she needed deep down most. Hope.
The document you provided for her, the witness statement signed by Frederick Mowbray, the artistry in its creation was impressive. I must admit I could find no error. It is a perfect forgery.
I should hope so. I paid a great deal of money to have it produced so quickly.
But Frederick Mowbray was never in the Navy, of course. Easy enough lie poor Miss McGann would never think to check. Do you really know what happened to her daughter Hannah?
I have no idea.
All just points of data in the algorithm.
It's what I do. It is elementary.
I see. Elementary. Did you get all of that, Miss McGann?
Miss McGann, I thought I left instructions.
You made me believe that that man in that hotel room had... You made me betray everyone!
Now, Olive.
No, everything I did for you was a lie. You made me betray everyone. I'm going straight to hell because of you!
My dear Olive, there is no such thing as hell.
Miss Holmes!
Priya?
Dr. Watson scouted the Navy circle. They're both into the streets.
This must all be rather inconvenient for you, Professor. It seems you are surrounded.
I told you, I never walk in anywhere that I don't know how to walk out of again. But my offer still stands.
You were right about the loneliness. It does get the better of me sometimes. But I'm afraid I must decline your kind proposal.
You can't possibly think your dear Dr. Watson holds any sort of comparison to you.
Certainly not. She far exceeds me in many qualities, and I find through my time with her that most people do.
You are not most people, Sherlock.
No, James. No one is.
Dear. Well, it saddens me that events must play out this way. I will say that I am surprised to have been as wrong about you as I clearly am. But, as much as the world would be better for having you in it, I can't have you stand in my way any longer. Are you sure you won't reconsider?
You already know my answer.
Well, then perhaps you already know mine.
Watson! Watson! Oh, look, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, no! No, Watson, come quick! Please, stay back, stay back, stay back! Watson, please hurry down to the river. They headed this way.
You know, it's strange, really. I'd always wondered what it felt like, and, well, now I know.
Oh, good God.
It's extraordinarily painful. I think I need
Watson?
Sherlock.
Watson, no! Help! Someone help, please!
Your brother's here, Miss Sherlock. Can I get you anything? We should be ready shortly. Are you sure I can't bring?
No, thank you, Mrs. Hudson. That will be all.
Right then, I'll just leave you to it.
Ah, Mycroft. It's been over a month. I don't recall ever going this long without you showing up unannounced. And now I have to summon you. Are you hiding from me?
I waited out of respect.
Don't. When were you going to tell me that Moriarty's sniper was dead?
Watson shot him twice in the chest. His chances of survival were minimal.
Oh, and you didn't help him along, hmm?
I don't like what you're insinuating.
Did you at least get his name?
Sebastian Moran, a decorated Army colonel, and by all accounts, a very dangerous man.
And the other two?
I'm afraid neither Moriarty nor Miss McGann have turned up. Now, Sherlock, it may come as some surprise to you, but most of my work has nothing to do with you. So, you said you'd make it quick. You said you had something. I have pressing business to attend to.
Pressing business.
Nothing you need to concern yourself with. I have a communique from the King of Bohemia that requires my attention. Now, you said you had something. Can you please make it quick? You said it was something to show me.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, you don't recognize it? It came from your office. Perhaps you don't recognize it because the last time you saw it, it didn't have Inspector Lestrade's blood on it.
Dare I ask where you got that?
I stole it, obviously. I disguised myself as a cleaning person at Scotland Yard. I waited for a shift change, and then I picked the lock to the evidence storage. It was immensely satisfying. Still not a bank vault, though. You gave it to him.
What happened was not what I intended.
He was my friend, Michael.
Sherlock, these emotional tactics...
He was my friend! Not what you intended, indeed. You intended for him to make a blunder and bungle the investigation. You intended to drive a wedge between him and me. You intended to derail our work.
Why would I do that?
Simple. The Contagious Diseases Acts. If left unchecked, Moriarty could have delayed the repeal of the acts for years, even decades. That's why you wanted us to stop pursuing the professor, because you realized that you and he were after the same goal.
What goal?
Maintaining the status quo. For very different reasons, of course. The professor needs to maintain the status quo because he believes he can easily manipulate enjoys the power and profit it gave him. You, however, you need things to stay the way they are because I believe the alternative frightens you.
I have but one goal, one purpose, the preservation of the English way of life. Change may be inevitable, but changing too quickly breeds instability. Look at America. They elected that abolitionist president before they were ready. Half the country seceded, 750,000 soldiers died, and it cost the country billions, not to mention the life of their president. After 4 years, they were right back where they started.
I believe about 4 million slaves were freed. Many would call that progress.
They could have achieved the same thing if they were patient without bloodshed.
Patient. Your English way of life has been making people miserable for over 300 years. People are suffering, Mycroft, and you are in the rarefied position of actually being able to change that.
I am not here to change anything. The rules in which we live by have been honed over the centuries into what they are today. There is nothing to change.
My God, Mycroft, you sound like a man on a sinking ship, wondering why everyone else is complaining because his end is still above water. I can't take this much longer. It is time to take a stand.
Haven't you been doing that your entire life?
I have been fighting against everything my entire life. But now I believe I know what I'm fighting for.
You think you can take the world on alone?
I think I can. But luckily, I don't have to. Watson?
Are you ready, Sherlock?
And where do you two think you're going?
Josephine Butler has organized a march for today. Moriarty was trying to delay the repeal movement, but I think we can bring it on faster than that.
I thought I was clear about such behavior.
You were, yes.
Sherlock, understand, if you walk out of that door, there will be a rift between us.
A rift, Mycroft? Can you not see the chasm that already lies between us?
Very well, are you prepared for the consequences? Very well then, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, so good of you.
Oh,
We lost the bar.
goodbye, Mycroft. That was very brave of you. It was necessary.
Do you think he'll come after you again?
Mycroft? Oh, yes. But I feel that this time when he comes for me, it will be in a manner I haven't anticipated.
Well, then we shall just have to anticipate him.
He's a very dangerous man, Watson.
We're dangerous women.
Yes, I suppose we are. How are you?
Better every day.
Feeling up for a walk, then?
Oh, absolutely.
Come then, ladies. Let us make our voices heard.